"The Valley of the Beast," he said, a smile on his lips rather than in his darkening eyes. "But that's just what we want. It's Beast we're after, isn't it?" His voice had a false, cheery ring that could not have deceived a child. "But what do you mean, anyhow, the Valley of the Beast?" He asked it with a dull attempt at sympathy. "It belonged to Ishtar, Mr. Grimwood." The man looked him full in the face, no flinching in the eyes. "Our big moose is there," said the other, who recognized the name of the Indian hunting god, and understanding better, felt confident he would soon persuade his men. Tushali, he remembered too, was nominally a Christian. "We'll follow him at dawn and get the biggest head the world has ever seen. You will be famous," he added, his temper better and in hand again. "Your tribe will honor you, and the white hunters will pay you much money." "He go there to save himself. I go not." The other's anger revived with a leap at this stupid obstinacy. But, in spite of it, he noticed the odd choice of words. He began to realize that nothing now would move the man. At the same time, he also realized that violence on his part must prove worse than useless. Yet violence was natural to his dominant type. "That brute Grimwood," was the way most men spoke of him. "Back at the settlement, you're a Christian, remember?" He tried, in his clumsy way, another line. "And disobedience means hellfire. You know that." "I, a Christian, at the post," was the reply. "But out here, the red god rule. Ishtar keep that valley for himself. No Indian hunt there." It was as though a granite boulder spoke. The savage temper of the Englishman, enforced by the long, difficult suppression, rose wickedly into sudden flame. He stood up, kicking his blankets aside. He strode across the dying fire to the Indian's side. Tushali also rose. They faced each other, two humans alone in the wilderness, watched by countless invisible forest eyes. Tushali stood motionless, yet as though he expected violence from the foolish, ignorant white face. "You go alone, Mr. Grimwood." There was no fear in him. Grimwood choked with rage. His words came forth with difficulty, though he roared them into the silence of the forest. "I pay you, don't I? You do what I say, not what you say." His voice woke the echoes. The Indian, arms hanging by his side, gave the old reply. "I go not," he repeated firmly. It stung the other into uncontrollable fury. The beast then came uppermost. It came out. "You said that once too often, Tushali!" And he struck him brutally in the face. The Indian fell, rose to his knees again, collapsed sideways beside the fire, then struggled back into a sitting position. He never once took his eyes from the white man's face. Beside himself with anger, Grimwood stood over him. "Is that enough? Will you obey me now?" he shouted. "I go not," came the thick reply, blood streaming from his mouth. The eyes had no flinching in them. "That valley Ishtar keep. Ishtar see us now. He see you." The last words he uttered with strange, almost uncanny emphasis. Grimwood, arm raised, fist clenched, about to repeat his terrible assault, paused suddenly. His arm sank to his side. What exactly stopped him he could never say. For one thing, he feared his own anger, feared that if he let himself go, he would not stop till he had killed, committed murder. He knew his own fearful temper and stood afraid of it. Yet it was not only that. The calm firmness of the redskin, his courage under pain, and something in the fixed and burning eyes arrested him. Was it also something in the words he had used? "Ishtar see you," that stung him into a queer caution midway in his violence? He could not say. He only knew that a momentary sense of awe came over him. He became unpleasantly aware of the enveloping forest, so still, listening in a kind of impenetrable, remorseless silence. This lonely wilderness, looking silently upon what might easily prove murder, laid a faint, inexplicable chill upon his raging blood. The hand dropped slowly to his side again. The fist unclenched itself. His breath came more evenly. "Look you here," he said, adopting without knowing it the local way of speech. "I ain't a bad man, though your going on do make a man damn tired. I'll give you another chance." His voice was sullen, but a new note in it surprised even himself. "I'll do that. You can have the night to think it over to, Sally. See? Talk it over with your—" He did not finish the sentence. Somehow the name of the red-skinned god refused to pass his lips. He turned away, flung himself into his blankets, and in less than 10 minutes, exhausted as much by his anger as by the day's hard going, he was sound asleep. The Indian, crouching beside the dying fire, had said nothing. Night held the woods. The sky was thick with stars. The life of the forest went about its business quietly, with that wondrous skill which millions of years had perfected. The redskin, so close to this skill that he instinctively used and borrowed from it, was silent, alert, and wise, his outline as inconspicuous as though he merged, like his four-footed teachers, into the mass of the surrounding bush. He moved perhaps, yet nothing knew he moved. His wisdom, derived from that eternal ancient mother who from infinite experience makes no mistakes, did not fail him. His soft tread made no sound. His breathing, as his weight, was calculated. The stars observed him, but they did not tell. The light air knew his whereabouts, yet without betrayal. The chill dawn gleamed at length between the trees, lighting the pale ashes of an extinguished fire, also of a bulky, obvious form beneath a blanket. The form moved clumsily. The cold was penetrating. And that bulky form moved because a dream had come to trouble it. A dark figure stole across its confused field of vision. The form started, but it did not wake. The figure spoke. "Take this," it whispered, handing a little stick curiously carved. "It is the totem of great Ishtar. In the valley all memory of the white gods will leave you. Call upon Ishtar. Call upon him if you dare." And the dark figure glided away out of the dream and out of all remembrance. 2. The first thing Grimwood noticed when he woke was that Tushali was not there. No fire burned, no tea was ready. He felt exceedingly annoyed. He glared about him, then got up with a curse to make the fire. His mind seemed confused and troubled. At first he only realized one thing clearly. His guide had left him in the night. It was very cold. He lit the wood with difficulty and made his tea, and the actual world came gradually back to him. The Red Indian had gone. Perhaps the blow, perhaps the superstitious terror, perhaps both had driven him away. He was alone. That was the outstanding fact. For anything beyond outstanding facts, Grimwood felt little interest. Imaginative speculation was beyond his compass. Close to the brute creation, it seemed, his nature lay. It was while packing his blankets, he did it automatically, a dull, vicious resentment in him, that his finger struck a bit of wood that he was about to throw away when its unusual shape caught his attention suddenly. His odd dream came back then. But was it a dream? The bit of wood was undoubtedly a totem stick. He examined it. He paid it more attention than he meant to, wished to. Following with red-skin faithfulness, some code of his own had left him the means of safety. He chuckled sourly, but thrust the stick inside his belt. "One never knows," he mumbled to himself. He faced the situation squarely. He was alone in the wilderness. His capable, experienced woodsman had deserted him. The situation was serious. What should he do? A weakling would certainly retrace his steps, following the track they had made, afraid to be left alone in this vast hinterland of pathless forest. But Grimwood was of another build. Alarmed he might be, but he would not give in. He had the defects of his own qualities. The brutality of his nature argued force. He was determined and a sportsman. He would go on. And 10 minutes after breakfast, having first made a cachet of what provisions were left over, he was on his way. down across the ridge and into the mysterious valley.